Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. All Things Middle-earth here with a very special video today. We have the Goblin Chef, AP Gains. I'm got the whole intro written down in front of me. I'm trying to memorize it, but Goblin Ramsey, it's a pleasure to have you here. Hope you're doing well on this fine day, and we're gonna jump right into the meat and potatoes of this. We just got done over on AP's channel talking about some different factions that might end up surprising us down the road. I want to talk about two different ones over here. And the first one that I think people may be half and half on, so I'll be curious to get your take on it, is the Misty Mountains faction. Now, when this game was coming out, I remember looking at some tier lists and seeing, who's going to be good. And I remember seeing Bolg up there, Gror the Brute up there, kind of the, pay-to-win troll guy. So I think there's probably not a lot of surprise if they're included here, but I really think that Bolg has one of the better leads in the game, with the advantage always going out and the potential for really, really high damage to take out single targets at a time. I think with Gror being the highest damage character, Bolg tied for second. There's a lot of synergy here with this squad down the road, but I've not, the arena meta is just a mess right now, so I don't think that whole team has been perfect yet. But what are your thoughts on the Misty Mountains squad as of now in the game?
So if we're talking just Misty Mountains, I mean, we got Bolg, we got Tordaka. Sorry if I mispronounce any names. I know this is a Lord of the Rings channel, and I'm mostly Star Wars, so I might butcher something. You might burn me at the stake or whatever it is.
I called Tordok Todork for a long time, so I think we're all good there.
All right, if we're on even footing there, then I feel a little bit more comfortable. What I really like about them is, especially if you throw in Nuraz just because he happens to be Misty Mountains. I know he's not quite technically really in there because of some tags, and CG is very big if you haven't played Galaxy of Heroes, for some of your viewers who are coming from Rise to War and stuff like that. Tags on characters in a CG game are incredibly important because so many abilities will be like this faction. So if you have a character that, if Nazgul Tank doesn't have a tag that works with the Witch King, it's useless. You know what I mean? So tags are important. But Nuraz and pay to win big chunky man Brute give you some survivability in that the stone troll or whatever it's called will taunt with him. They have some survivability. There's some debuffs, some stuns and stuff like that. But Bolg coming in, one-shotting characters, Tordok kind of taunting for him and stuff like that. I think they do a lot of really good things that I think will be big for countering something. I'm not exactly sure what that is. I don't know if the damage is going to be enough to kind of punch through elves like we talked about over on my channel with the Rohirrim.
Right.
But they're very well primed to counter something, if that makes sense. This game is all about which teams counter which teams and where do you deploy them here, there, or the other. I know it doesn't look like that because of the game right now, but I think this is a fantastic faction. They're going to do a lot of good stuff.
Well, I think it's in terms of teams, if you were to list out all the squads we have, in terms of damage, Bolg and Gror the Brute being in here, I don't think there's another team that has that much damage in one squad. So I feel like that alone has to be something. It has to be something, and then Tordok, or Todork as I call him a lot, does have the highest armor in the game. Now, obviously, these are just stats and things play out very differently sometimes than they look like they should. But on paper, it looks like you've got a really good summon. You've got a very tanky character and a lot of damage. And so we talked about, over on your channel, we talked about raids as well and how certain teams will match up in raids. And there are going to be 4 phases to the Mines of Moria raid. Very likely a couple of Goblin phases, or at least one, and then we'll go to Troll and then Balrog. So when single fire damage is important, some of these guys might do very well at doing high damage to a Troll or a Balrog. And Gror the Brute still has his AoE, so it's not like you're totally unable to take out multiple goblins at one time. But again, I think they got potential for sure, but I don't know. Time will tell, I guess.
Absolutely. Which leads us to your second faction. Oh my God, transitions.
Two factions. All right, this one is a little bit of a I don't know. I hope that they get better than they are right now, but I think they have a lot of potential. And I think based on this weird meta we have right now, everyone's going to have a lot of these characters at decent levels. So let me click the right buttons and pull them up. It's going to be the Ranger faction. Now, hear me out. Everyone and their grandma uses Strider, right? He's got an AoE, he's got the triple attack. You start with him, he's a daily reward. Everyone's going to have a Strider. Probably one of the, not first, but a lot of people are going to have him at higher stars than most. Everyone loves Halbrad. Tanky, just really tanky, amazing heal for the whole team when it's maxed out. Then everyone wants Elrond. Ooh, big, fancy, shiny. And you're getting Elro here. So we already have 3 of a ranger squad. So obviously, depending on down the road, you might have other elves coming in or other people coming in taking different spots on the Elrond team. You might have some flexibility. And if we get a 4th or a 5th, actually, ranger, we could have a really good situation under the Halbarad lead because it has the chance, with his tall tower ability, to grant Eagle Eye. Whenever they grant themselves stealth, they get Eagle Eye. Whenever they get Eagle Eye, they get advantage for guaranteed crits. So again, thinking of that like just guaranteed can't miss critical damage. I think it could be interesting, but maybe I just want that the ranger faction to be powerful. But what do you think? Is there a ranger meta in the future here for the game?
I think absolutely. I think it's going to be one of those things where, and I'll make obviously a comparison to the game that I play, Galaxy of Heroes, because same developers and all that stuff. There are plenty of characters that overlap as far as tags are concerned. One of the bigger ones is like Galactic Republic, which is like an era of the Jedi, and then Jedi in general, right? So you have your older Jedi who exist from video games that we used to all play as children,
right?
And they can have synergies across each other. So just because Elro here probably works really well with the elves doesn't mean that he's not going to be useful with the rangers as well. So let's say we get a 5th ranger and there's 6 elves. You know, if you find yourself in a situation where you need 2 teams instead of 1, you might have to flex Elro here out of the elven faction, put in the other blonde chick that no one's farming right now. So you have a 5 squad there. You bring him over with, you know, the 5th ranger under, you know, a Halbarad lead to get your Eagle Eye.
Right.
And you have your 2nd squad there. And I think a lot of it's going to come down to, as the game progresses, you're going to need different things, right?
Oh, yeah.
Call it P1. If we're talking raids, because other game modes haven't been confirmed. If P1 requires more regeneration and longevity, you can use your Elro here and whatever in your Elven faction. If you need more damage with the Eagle Eye from Halbarad, you can use that in a P2, for instance, to get more damage out of him and stuff like that. So I think him and a lot of these characters are going to have other, you know, Strider's going to have Road to Rivendell, and once we get Legolas and Gimli, and we see, well, not Road to Rivendell, but you know, once we see how Road to Rivendell is required for Legolas or Gimli or Gandalf or some other Fellowship character,
they will be needed for something. On a side note, everyone, like, they're not great, but I guarantee you at some point that it's gonna be like, oh, so we do need to get Sam unlocked. All the okay, well, let's do it. Yep.
Yeah, no, I regret not buying the $20 Hobbit pack.
I got it. I got it and started out with the Road to Rivendell. I was going to stubbornly go against the Rohan trio, and then in like 2 hours, I was like, no, I'm just kidding. This sucks. But I got it for future use. So
there's a guy in my guild where he does full Road to Rivendell. All of them are over 5,000 character power, and he's dominating Mithril right now in the Death Shard. He's doing great stuff. And it's just gear, man. You just didn't do the gear. That's your fault.
Oh, I know. No. Well, I actually think so. We've got a big guy on our team too, who came with us from the other game. I think he has like the 2nd highest like overall roster strength or whatever collection power in this game, and I think he actually runs primarily that Road to Rivendell team as well. He's kind of got everything, but I don't know.
It's an easy faction to get to high stars, man. That's probably why the whales.
It absolutely is. There's synergy, and again, so far all we've seen in this game has been, you know, mid-level, like maybe a little over half geared, like gear 5, gear 6. So it's not like we're seeing a lot of, you know, level 60, gear 8 testing to really see how teams work together. It's just like, I think once we start getting to that max level, some teams might start surprising us. So like you said, sometimes making that 2nd team is useful. And while Errol here might be best case with the elves, having a actual like usable 2nd team might be better than having your elves be 10% better when you could plug someone else in and get the job done, depending on, you know, if we end up having a Grand Arena type mode where you're putting on, maybe you sub Elro here out and put that Leliel, I think is her name, the blonde chick. The elf made up names are difficult to track with, but you put them on defense, you got 2 tanks and support. It's gonna be annoying. So maybe you do that and then you run this nice ranger team, because everyone's got Strider and Halbarad. So let's just get one more.
I have 4 shards of Halbarad. That's what my Halbarad's looking like.
That's the other bundle that I hunted. That whenever the game came out, I was like, all right, what do I need to do to unlock this bundle? We'll buy the Halbarad bundle. We bought the Hobbit bundle. Now we did the Arwen thing. I don't know. We've sold our soul already, so I can't.
Yeah, I originally started as I have 3 accounts, by the way.
Okay.
All 3 of them are going to be free to play. I do this big thing over on my channel since it's more about farming guides and how free to play players can kind of become successful in that area. I was like, I'm going to try different paths with the different accounts, and they're all going to be free to play. And then I quickly realized there's no one's really doing testing at like the hours I need them to do testing. So it's like, screw it. I have to buy stuff. And by the time I decided to do that, all of the good packs were gone, and they don't come back because they're one-time like gotcha packs. I was just like, oh man, I wish I had Halbrand, I wish I had Bolg, I wish I had Mordor, I wish I had Hobbits.
I got the Bolg pack because I'd seen the tier list and I was like, oh, I'll get Bolg, this will be great. And then I was like, it's just not quite comparing to the hodgepodge arena meta yet. But again, think that'll change. But anyway, I think that's enough speculation for this segment. We're going to go ahead and wrap this sucker up. If you guys want to see the first part of this conversation, make sure you check the link in the description. I'll link it in the description. I'll link it in the top right. I'll link it everywhere possible to be linked. Check out AP Games' channel. Subscribe over there to see some more Heroes of Middle-earth content. Maybe you guys play other games like this, like Galaxy Heroes 2, and you could get some great advice over there. But I think that's going to do it for today. So appreciate you reaching out and joining in. We'll have to make this a regular thing and speculate our little hearts out every week. Weekly speculation.
Weekly speculation. A recurring show only on the most inconvenient day of the week.
Yes. Let's do it.
Wait,
all right.
Before we go, we have to give it a name. We got to give them hope so they can comment in your comment section, in my comment section. We know where the loyal people are who stayed till the
name,
end.
the show of the name. If you stay till the end, comment. Speculation Squad. That's weak. The
specky. No, it's gotta be smart. It's gotta be like theoretical. Fizz something.
Theoden's theoretical. I don't know. Maybe leave a comment if you have an idea, and that will at least prove that you listen to this nonsense and rambling.
Theoden's theoretical thermometer. We will talk about the winner of the contest.
Theoden's theoretical thermometer. Where we check the heat on all the latest on your favorite speculation. I think we've nailed it.
I think we got it. We got it.
We got it. Leave a comment down below. We'll see you guys in the next one. Have a fantastic day.